Alright guys, so I'm hitting you up with a little bit of Orcs versus PC today, which, yeah, tricky for the Orcs, but we've got Mickey as the mech boy, and he is a bit of a cunning little devil, so he must have a plan. We'll see. I figured, even though Leonus probably isn't the caliber of player that I like to put on the Patreon, the only other replay that I have at the moment is another Otto Malleus one, and it's just been so much Otto Malleus. It's not Sergeant Smith, it's Cry. Everyone apparently now is playing the Otto Malleus, so yeah, got a lot of them, and I don't just want to hit it with Otto Malleus, Otto Malleus, Otto Malleus back to back. So obviously that will be on the main channel, but yeah, I just wanted a bit of diversity on here. So we've got PC versus Orcs, traditionally known as a very good matchup for the PC, probably one of his best. And that's because Orcs are quite reliant on melee, but the PC, out of all the Chaos heroes, is arguably the best against melee. By default, probably worse than the Chaos Sorcerer, because if you just use Doom Blast, suppress the melee squad, then hit them with the Doom Bolts, it's basically goodbye to any melee squad. But as the game goes on, as you start to accumulate red, you get Touch of Nurgle, which just completely negates melee in a big army versus army fight, which is really nice. Potentially gets wipes as well, especially if you can get the red for it in tier 1, it can definitely get wipes. You've got the Blight Grenades, you've got the Bile Spewer, you've got the Unholy Stench. Probably the most impactful though is the Chosen Plague Marines in tier 2, just the best melee counter-initiation squad in the game, pretty much. Short of Knobs, there is no Orc squad that can go 1v1 with Chosen Plague Marines, and they're just a pain in the ass to get rid of, because generally there is a lack of ranged DPS for Orcs. Orcs recently in the meta have been preferring to go for 2 Slugger Boys and 1 Shooter Boys, which is really nice to deal with the Marines. And if you get your Orcs with burners, they can actually fare pretty decently against heretics even with their AC tick. So it's been popular, but yeah, it doesn't scale very well to dealing with Chosen Plague Marines. Now Mickey hasn't gone for that, he's gone for Fast Storm Boys, which I suppose makes sense with the mech boy. You get that synergy with the battery pack. So that means he's got double shooters, which means more ranged DPS to take down Chosen Plague Marines in tier 2. So we'll see how it goes. A lot of free DPS coming in there from the power melee hits on the aspiring champion. Wow, yeah, Stormboy's performing beautifully there against those AC ticks. As long as you can get the models hitting the actual AC himself, because he's heavy infantry, they do a lot of damage. But they are eventually forced off. I think there are a lot of wars there, I'm not sure how many, maybe 2 or 3. It's a pretty nice situation, but Leonus is just blobbing up his entire army right now. Literally all of his units were in that position. And you can see the result on the map, all of the north side here conquered by Mickey and all of the south conquered by Leonus. But obviously there's another farm potential here. He's not actually built it. I did anticipate that he would have built it, but he's not. Don't know, he must have had a lot of bleed, I guess, replacing Stormboys. Maybe he wants a 5th unit out before he starts investing in the power nodes. We'll see. Noise Marines for Leonus. Yeah, they're coming straight down the middle, because he's anticipating as well that there would be a gen farm here, because he's seen no gens on this side, but literally no gens have been built for Mickey yet, none on this contested either. And he's pushing forward with quite a force. Stormboy's going to go into the Noise Marines, obviously they're going to use the Cacophony, trying to focus fire the Stormboys. Oh, that was interesting to do the jump out, I don't really see the point of that. But yeah, couldn't focus fire them down quick enough. Really, you got to have your AC ticks around, don't you? They're your proper counter melee. Burners on the sluggers, take out the node. Are they going to keep going? Need a bit of micro. Just got the big shooter on the mech so far, no battery pack. Ooh, Stormboy's going to engage the AC ticks. Not sure about this. They're very low on models. If he had the battery pack, this would have been beautiful. But no battery pack. Nice specials there on the sluggers. War active on them again. Okay, but now they're getting flanked by the CSM and the PC. CSM really should have gone into melee there. Probably would have claimed a couple of models. Heretics committing really hard to try and deal with the mech boy. They're going to get into the retreat path now. Go for the sluggers. Get a model, maybe 2. Just 1 model. And it doesn't feel nice being shot in the back by a big shooter with your heretics. You see them getting peeled off one by one quite effectively. Mech Boy gonna seek some nice green cover. Evade those plague bolts from the plague champion. Trying to just keep bleeding the heretics. What did he get? Another model there. And then they're both gonna retreat from the fight. A lot of pressure on the natural VP of Leonus so far from owning this north side, and the result is 500 VP still to Mickey to 356 for Leonus. Once again, attempting to bash with the Noise Marines, but they got to retreat out of there. Yeah, cheeky little cacophony into a retreat. No AC ticks to help counter-initiate. No blight grenades. I really feel like the Storm Boys have been dominating so far. I actually think the Bal Spewer could be a good choice here. We've seen this matchup. Well, actually, you guys won't have seen it yet. I've cast a matchup between Mickey and Inikura's PC, where he went for the Fetid Armor in Tier 1 with the Unholy Stench and the Bal Spewer, and it actually countered the Orc melee beautifully. If you use the Bal Spewer Bilious Discharge, the AoE Snare ability, and then you combine it with the passive slow and damage debuff that you get from the actual Bal Spewer itself, it will immobilize a squad, and you can definitely isolate melee squads and take them out that way. So with the Storm Boys, obviously you'd bait them in with a jump first, and then you'd throw your ticks on them, suppress them with the Doom Blast, and then hit them with the Bal Spewer. It actually does quite a lot of damage as well. Just as a weapon, being a flamethrower. Storm Boys, unlike Slugger Boys, don't have flame resist, and they do have quite a few models. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like the Storm Boys have just done magnificent, to put it bluntly. And there's not really been anything to counter them. Only 1 AC tick is definitely a large part of that. Now we've got 2, but they're not together. An instance like that where the Doom Blast is controlling both, you can throw in a Blight Grenade, that could be quite effective, but he's not gone for that. He's got the Unholy Stench, but he doesn't use it, which is a bit strange. I feel like the cooldown on that is not very high. It's not going to tell me, unfortunately. I'd have probably used it there just to slow these guys down, because now, of course, Big War, force off the Chaos units, and now the Sluggers are rotating over to the Natural Gen farm, looking to put those burners to use. Mickey is going to be getting to Tier 2 first. Leonus is going Tier 2 as well. Oh, nice flank here from the Heretics, finishing off one of the generators that was brought down quite low. No investment in the shooters, which is interesting. And it's also shocking to me that we've only seen a battery pack. You know, you're against 2 Heretics, and you don't have the electric armor or the battery pack. Seems kind of odd. But yeah, I mean, we see the result, right? Faster Tier 2 for the Orcs, but what are they even getting for it? Yeah, he goes for his knobs. Knob leaders on the Storm Boys and the Sluggers before anything else, before any vehicle. I don't know if he realizes how far ahead he is in tech. You would think that you'd go for a Death Dread, right? Secure the Gen Bash, you get the full bash, you're in a really good situation then. You follow it up with Weird Boy, expecting Plague Marines. And then even if he goes Chosen Plague Marines, the Weird Boy's quite nice to have, because you get the Vomit to help versus the Chosen Plague Marines. There is the attempted wipe with the Touch the Nurgle, so you bait the Orcs into a big fight, you get them low on health, and then you activate Touch the Nurgle. That gives you spike damage and knockback on your Explosion, your Doom Blast, and then you knock them over and try and wipe them before they can retreat. But Sluggernob too tanky. I don't really feel like that was a very good use of Touch the Nurgle. Probably wouldn't have won the fight without it, but you know, what was the point of winning that fight? What, we killed 5 Slugger Boy models for 150 red. It's not really very good. Now, Leonus here, I don't know why he has preemptively bought Plague Marines. They're not exactly... Oh, what? Mickey? No. Don't get the Death Dread now. Literally facilitating his silly Plague Marine purchase. Now, Plague Marines are interesting. They have utility against infantry. They do a little bit of anti-infantry damage with their Plague Bolters, but it's really not a lot. Like, it's less than a free model CSM squad, which is not a lot of ranged DPS. But they are very hard to kill, both in ranged and melee. The problem is, if you kill them in melee, they explode when they die and it knocks over your boys. I think it does a little bit of damage too. Furthermore, when you're near them, your speed gets debuffed. So just having these guys around your ranged units can be quite nice when things like sluggers are trying to chase them down. But as you can see, their actual ranged DPS is not amazing. Massive lack of micro over there, loses the noise marines. What is he looking at? Oh, he's looking over here with his heretics to force off these shooters on the natural once again. Leonus actually normalising the VP situation quite a lot here. He is still behind a bit at 334 to the 390 that Mickey has. But yeah, this is it. You've just facilitated Mickey going straight for the Weird Boy. Weird Boy not in cover here though. Oh, good Weird Boy shot on the heretics there. Didn't kill any of them though. Rather strangely. Okay, Weird Boy. Probably wants to get in cover, this Weird Boy. Wow, that damage over time. Nearly claiming the mech boy here. Might be time for big shooters, I would say. Maybe he just wants to get to tier 3. Oh, he has got a lack of power though, Mickey. That's one of the big problems that he has right now. Another touch of Nurgle to win the fight against Storm Boys on the side, yeah. So you can see Plague Marines trying to chase the sluggers to slow them down, but they just force off the CSM. Zap. Bit of a strange zap. Now it jumps to the sluggers. Should jump in retreat to the Plague Marines, or can it not? Yeah, it can jump to retreating units. But yeah, Plague Marines don't really care. Is that enough time to jump again? It is. It's going to jump around the whole lot. Well. This zap's crazy. Literally jumped onto every unit except the Plague Champion. I doubted it, Mickey, but it was effective. Yeah, this is good. Chaos Dreadnought, I like that play. It's a good play. It's got that 20% damage resistance to deal with these. Nice vomit. Let's get rid of those CSM. Bang, slain the aspiring champion. Leonus, no red. This would have been a fight where Touch and Nurgle would have actually been useful. Nice attempted wipe though on the Weird Boy. It was a good effort, but I think these heretics need to get out of here now though. They can't handle this. Look at these knobs. Yes, I don't know what they were trying to do there. They just do not have the durability without Touch and Nurgle. And Plague Marines the whole time were just there. They were just there. Imagine if these were chosen Plague Marines instead. Oh, the whole matchup would have gone totally different. That whole engagement would have been totally different. Storm Boys would have been having trouble running around in melee there. Instead of having to deal with one silly little pew-pew bolter that's doing no damage. Having 4 Plague Knives chopping them up. That would have been very effective. Yeah, big mistake from Leonus. I don't know why he preemptively bought that. Like I said, a fast Death Dread would have made sense. It would have come out before that Plague Marine. Because Mickey, you know, did really well to control the tier 1 without requiring any upgrades on his shooters. But he didn't do that. And you just, I don't know, I think you know that you've got a good generic option when you're playing as Chaos to just save for this Chaos Dreadnought. Just wait for that. Wait to see what the Orc's going to do. If he buys a Death Dread, then you can get your Plague Marines. If he doesn't buy the Death Dread, do not buy Plague Marines. They really haven't achieved a whole lot. And it is quite an expensive investment, to be honest. Chosen Plague Marines would have been beautiful. I'm not sure how much the Storm Boys want to take on this Sea Dread. Probably without any real support. Yeah, and with War, I guess you don't really want to do that. Storm Boys probably want to Attack the Plague Marines? Let's see, with WA. Yeah, even with the 20% damage resistance, they're pretty damn good, aren't they? 20% damage resistance against melee on this Chaos Dreadnought with its default loadout. Stormboy's hacking it to pieces. Stormboys are just awesome now. Look at the jump range as well with Bomber Boys. The improved rocket packs. I call it Bomber Boys. It gives you the Bomber Boys ability, which is usually why you buy it. Well, I wouldn't even say that. It's what you know it for. It's not why you buy it. Not sure what's going on with this shooter boy. Guess he doesn't want him. Probably worth just keeping him with a couple of models. Literally 2 models run around just using for capping, but doesn't seem very interested in doing anything with him, really. Plague Champion is still running around just with the fetid armor. Yeah, a bit of a bait, I guess. I don't know what that was, Mickey. He made another touch of Nurgle come out. I think Leonus really wanted to win that fight because he's seen the opportunity to kill a shooter, but no, don't go Death Dread. Mickey, you need tier 3 at this point, buddy. Met by beating the Plague Champion one-on-one here. Plague Champion presumably had a lot of lost HP. Double Dreadnought. Ooh, why is Mickey going for the Pain Boy? So we got a Beamy Looter, which is good. Tank Busters can be really awkward to use against the Sea Dread because of the autocannon. It'll bleed them. And then obviously as you lose your Tank Buster models, your actual AV DPS, that's falling off quite a lot. You end up with no requisition. At least the Beamy Looters don't have that problem. And they can fight the Sea Dread from a longer range than the Sea Dread can return fire, which is very helpful. Beamy, do your ting! They're infiltrated right now. There you go, there's a Beamy shot. I think he's out of range though now. Hey, is that the battery pack? No, what am I on about? There's a Pain Boy. I think Mickey just realised how well the Storm Boys are doing right now, and he's like, yeah, we'll facilitate that even further. Stronger Git Source has been purchased, so that heals even stronger. More regen for the Pain Boy as well. But yeah, only one source of AV at ranged is going to be tricky against 2 Sea Dreads. And even with Pain Boy support, I don't think the Storm Boys want to be going in now that there's 2. 2 of them attacking at the same time. The real bane of the Storm Boys against these Dreadnoughts is special attacks, which they'll always be able to proc against the boys. So he's going in with the jump. He's got the Beamy Looter. He's going to focus fire one of them. Warpath is activated, giving damage resistance to the nearby Storm Boys as well as a speed buff. And there you go. One of them's dead. Just like that. Storm Boys, absolute MVP. Pain Boy going to heal himself and get out of there. A lot of investment here on the Plague Champion. I'm also conscious there's stuff going on over here. Oh, Mickey drops a Shooter Boy squad, which is kind of bad because he was using them to cap. So he's down a capping unit. He's going to have to commit Sluggers to going over the other side to cap now. But he should be alright. He's got the Mech Boy to pew down the Plague Champion, who's now picked up the Fist and Muka's Discharge. Support from the Weird Boy. Storm Boys will pretty much deal with the CSM and the Plague Marines. And Leonus just going to replace the Chaos Dreadnought. Now, I don't know about this now. I think now is the time to get tier 3. Maybe go for some Lightning Claw Terminators. You already have Plague Marines to deal with a tank. You can get a Zenith Dreadnought as well, if you need to. Honestly, Plague Marines plus a default Dreadnought should be fine at dealing with a looted tank. Obviously, the main threat here is the Storm Boys, and Lightning Claw Terminators can definitely handle them, as well as being able to handle any knobs, so it would set you up well. You've already lost one of your Sea Dreads, if you're Leonus, so I don't really see why you'd be getting another one. And, well, I suppose there has been quite a bit of investment. Oh, more Daka on the Beamy Looter as well. This thing's dead. Yep, dead Dreadnought. Did we get the heal from the pinboy? Nope. There it is now. Wow, look at these Storm Boys, man. They're just, oh, they're gonna just wipe the Plague Marines. Ooh, will they get out because of their explosion? Nope. Wow, they wiped the Plague Marines. Storm Boys, absolute MVP. Gonna be level 4 soon. Idling Plague Champion. He's not really sure what's going on. Couldn't see the Beamy Looters because they were infiltrated. Oh, this is looking terrible for Leonus now. This has to be a dub for Mickey, surely. All he has to do now is get a tank, and he's chilling. Because he's just killed the Plague Marines. The whole thing I said before about going Lightning Claw Terminators, the whole point of that was because he already had a counter for a tank, right? Because you counter Lightning Claw Terminators with a tank. They'll never catch a tank, and even if they do, they're only power melee, not heavy melee, so it's not that big of a deal. You could have countered the tank because you've got this walker which does okay range damage versus vehicles. You could make it very good range damage versus vehicles by turning it into a T-Dread, and you combine that with a snare from the Plague Marines which gives you a snare so the tank can't mercilessly chase down your Chaos Dreadnought, as well as extra supplemental DPS. So your single source of ranged AVs are just tied up in melee by something like Storm Boys. But yeah, then he loses the Plague Marines and that whole thing no longer applies. So he did get a nice unholy stench there, calming the Storm Boys down for a bit, but the downside of this fetid armor is he hasn't got the Armor of Pestilence right, so his max HP is way lower, but probably more importantly than that, he isn't immune to knockback. So the Storm Boy Nob could potentially proc a special, knock him over, and then just murderize him while he's on the floor. If you had the Armor of Pestilence, you're not too scared to tango with the Storm Boys, because you know you won't be knocked over. So it's very easy to predict when you need to retreat. When there's a risk of the enemy proccing a special and maybe doing an extra 40% of your HP, you have to acknowledge that risk and retreat a bit earlier. Massive, deep commitment here from the Chaos Dreadnought just to force off a mech boy taking this wreck. And the tank comes to exploit it. It knows the Dreadnought's isolated. The Dreadnought can't afford to turn around and chase down the tank because we've got level 4 Storm Boys supported with a Pain Boy chasing after this ting. We did get a rear armor hit from the Plague Fist there. We've got Cult of Speed, the global boosting the speed of all the vehicles from the mech boy. But the tank is still getting smacked in the back by a Power Fist Plague Champion. Oh, it's going to go down. Oh, wow. He fucked that up. He went way too deep for the kill there. He didn't need to. He just had to chip away. And he throws his tank. I mean, letting a looted tank with Cult of Speed, may I add, get caught in melee by a Plague Champion is... Mickey, it's quite embarrassing. We did have a global call in for Chosen Plague Marines as well, and they have just been going down the sidelines here, and that's beautiful for them because they will 1v1. Presumably they 1v1 level 3 sluggers. Yeah. Let's see. It's going to replace the looted tank. We're going to get another Chaos Dreadnought. I'd really like to see Leonus go tier 3. If he could have gone tier 3 and got a tank out of his own, that'd be pretty sweet. Just the mobility of a Khorne Predator would be beautiful right now. It would really punish basically all these. That 75% bolter increase in damage and the 25% cannon increase. And, you know, it'll tango well with the looted tank. The looted tank is very much spec'd into anti-infantry with its high splash damage shells. As you can see there, even Plague Marines not enjoying it. They need to go. Yeah, there we are. They're starting to pop. Mickey's got an ungodly amount of red. I wonder if we'll see a rocks. Whoops. Over 900 red, holy shit. And this was a good touch of Nurgle. The knockback is probably the most valuable thing here. Controlling all this melee, knocking it over. Just buying time for the Dreadnoughts. Oh, this is not a good idea. Fishing for a kill there on the Beamy Looters, but I don't know. He might risk losing his Heretics. Cult of Speed. Come on, looted. Look how fast it is. Can it get in range of another shot? That will kill the heretics if it does. It's too slow. Not going to happen. Tzeentch Dreadnought. He's going to drop her rocks. Oh my god. Dude, Mickey. Oh my god, what is he doing? What a troll. Totally dodged. That was terrible. He didn't even drop it, like, on the base. He needed it a bit further up, so it was harder to dodge. That was not good. Wow. Yeah, so we got a mark of Tzeentch Dreadnought. So we've got anti-vehicle damage here now. It does reduce its effectiveness against the Storm Boys and also make it a lot more vulnerable to them, because it now has 0 melee resist, not 20%. So the Storm Boys will be doing a lot more damage, technically doing 25% more damage against this Dreadnought. But yeah, it will zone out the looted tank. The looted tank didn't really want to go near these Sea Dreads anyway. Now this is what it can do. It can just sort of chill over here with a mech boy, and it's going to be very difficult for Leonus to deal with that because he doesn't have Plague Marines anymore. If he had Plague Marines, it wouldn't be so difficult. But he threw them. Sure, be happy with a little bit of bleed he's inflicting here. Beamy Looter's moving way too far forward. Mickey paying more attention over this side, I assume. Yeah. See you later, Beamies. What's the plan? Knobs next? You've already got a Pain Boy. Might as well. Triple Chaos Dreadnought. You could go for another tank. With Cult of Speed, you can take fights and disengage quite fast. But holy shit, is this a lot of Dreadnoughts. Imagine if he had Khorne Worship right now. Khorne Worship and Force Melee onto the looted tanks. Would have been nice, unfortunately for him, no Khorne Worship. Come on, T-Dread. God, taking ages to fire that barrage, but it did go out. A lot of damage. But he's had to rotate his whole forces, so then these guys just sneak over here, and it's goodbye Plague Champion. Oh, it looks like he's going to get out this time. I was going to say you could go for the jump here. He's very low on HP. If he micros it correctly, it should be a kill. Oh, wow, 1 HP. Bomber boys. Beautifully executed. Takes out the Plague Champion there. Yeah, not having Armor Pestilence, it feels bad. I think, honestly, Balspear in Tier 1 would have been a good shout for Leonus. That might sound crazy, but you guys are going to see when Inikuri uses that on a later cast. Very effective to deal with these Storm Boys. Shrine's an odd play. He's using it to reinforce the Heretics, keep them on the field. He needs to get some more VPs, does Leonus, but the problem with the Shrine... Oh, wait! The Weird Boy's dead! When did the Weird Boy die? I do not recall the Weird Boy dying. Fuck. Alright, well, the Weird Boy dying means the Shrine's actually alright. Because otherwise, the Weird Boy from really far away can just attack ground the Shrine, and there's not really a whole lot you can do. Same if there's Tank Busters on the field. They can just use Barrage and one-shot it. Not good. But, they're gone. The Beamy Looter could shoot it from afar, but then it kind of has to get a bit close and also reveal its position to the Dreadnoughts. This is pretty hilarious that there is this meta of just spamming Dreadnoughts now. So yeah, walkers don't have the speed that tanks have, so getting a nice, powerful, heavy melee squad, pretty good option to deal with walkers. And orcs have pretty much the best heavy melee squad. Certainly the best one that can retreat. But in general, they're probably superior to Storm Shield, Terminators and all that nonsense. CSM staying in for really long here, I don't know why. No touch of Nurgle either. And yeah, the knobs focus fire the Dreadnought with the missile launch to the T-Dread makes perfect sense, because it doesn't have melee resist, it falls really fast. This Dreadnought went way too far forward, nothing to deal with the Beamy Looter in the back lines. Now the Beamy's taken out that Dread, along with the tank. Knobs are just, yeah, tanking forever. Frenzy activated, still not lost a model, finally lose a model, but yeah, this is game over, really. Khorne Dreadnought. Huh. But there's a tank, mate, and you don't have Plague Marines, so you can't stop this tank from chasing you down. Rocks. Nice. Nicely executed. Yeah. And that's the GG. The Walker commitment didn't quite work. Trying to stall out the VPs, I suppose, there with the play at the end, but too many VPs for Leonus to do it. It's hard, man, when you got the Walker spam, because he's committing into the enemies 50% of the map. And Walkers aren't fast, they don't retreat, so it's very easy to wipe them like that if you get a bad engagement. So I don't like the strategy. Like I said, Leonus definitely needed to go tier 3 at some point prior to that. Losing the Plague Marines did screw him, and I think the second Dreadnought was fine. I think the T-Dread was fine. But the triple Dreadnought was very over the top. I needed to get tier 3 and get a Predator tank out. Maybe then things would have been a little bit different. You could push down this side with a Predator tank. That would solo the looted tank. Beamies are still a problem though. Doesn't really have a very good counter to that. And then the other two Dreadnoughts can go over this side. It's still tricky. I mean, he was behind so much on tech, right? And this Plague Champion, it really felt like he didn't do much at all. If he sent the Plague Chosens down this way with the two Dreadnoughts, then he probably could have tangoed with Knobs. Maybe. No, I was just looking for the Weird Boy then with Warpath. There's no Weird Boy, he's dead. But there was a Pain Boy. Overall though, guys, holy crap. MVP Storm Boys. Amazing. What a good squad. They are so strong right now. They are amazing. And I questioned the Pain Boy in tier 2, but man, he did it, didn't he? He really helped support those Storm Boys. Very nice to see. And then he has synergy with Knobs as well. Just beautiful. Beautiful stuff. It's going to be all from your boy Torpid. Thank you for supporting me. I am going to be signing out.